So dear honorable organizers, doctors, colleagues and supporters of homeopathy. So my name is Ina Dolgopolsky and I'm practicing homeopath from Ontario, Canada. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you with 200 days of your forum and thank organizers of this Zoomathon that unite people of all backgrounds and religions for the pursuit of our wonderful medical modality. We live now in a complicated world where with growing concepts about people's health and well-being, where really the leading medical establishment is not only helping to the full capacity, but also became quite harmful. Just yesterday, I think all of us read in the forums information about tragic death of a young Indian doctor who developed myalgia after vaccine. And after she was administered diclofenac injection, she died soon after. This is so tragic, and these stories we hear again and again. And we wonder if only all people know that there is another way, much more gentle, fast, and complete. This is the way that was discovered and promoted by our great founder, Dr. Hahnemann. Practicing in Canada, I see my role in delivering not only good classical homeopathic care of my patients, but also to disseminate knowledge I received from my great teachers. Last 10 years, I was privileged to be mentored by great Indian homeopath, Dr. Jos Isaac. And I feel like a bridge between Indian, Canadian, Russian, and Ukrainian speaking communities. Because I was born in Ukraine and I speak Ukrainian and Russian language. And in these wonderful classes that Dr. Jos was giving us, there are people of many countries, but all of them speak Russian. So I was also very happy to be a translator. So I can actually be really a bridge between all this knowledge and all these cultures. And I want to tell you that these studies really changed my world. Because before studying in India with Dr. Jos, I studied in many other academies, and they were all giving me great knowledge. But here in Kerala, in India, with Dr. Jos, I got this wonderful practical clinical knowledge, which helps me and helping other homeopaths. And we were inviting Dr. Jos, I think for 10 years to Canada to give us lectures. So some of his students would be here too. So, and now I would like to introduce to you 4 Canadians that were treated homeopathy as well as studied homeopathy. One of my colleague homeopath, and they share with me same passion to this science as I do. So now I just would like to start with Miss Irina Titovets. And maybe we can give her microphone. Irina is a supporter of homeopathy and a patient of homeopathy, and maybe she can share her story. Irina, are you here?
So the participant who Dr. Irina has mentioned, please raise your hand so that I can unmute you.
Maybe there is some problem with connection, I don't know.
Oh, maybe she can raise her hand by going
Irina,
to the participants.
Yes, please raise her hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here she is, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's called iPhone, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, can. No
wonderful.
problem.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, come on, madam.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ira, and I'm really happy to be the participant of the forum. I just want to briefly share my experience with homeopathy and how it changed my life. So 5 years ago, I was fully agreed that homeopathy is like a fairy tale. But when my daughter was 1.5 years old, she has started to cough at night. Every night for 1 or 2 hours, she had a terrible gargling cough. I've seen like, she didn't have any flu or cold. It was just one symptom. I've seen like 4 or 5 doctors in really good clinics, pediatricians, and all of them told me it's asthma. And I was wondering how come it could be asthma if it's just cough at night? And they told me we cannot test such a small kids and just use puffers. And that's it, what they told me. And I trusted like Canada healthcare system, but the huge red bulb starting to blinking in my head at this point, because there is no sense to use steroid inhalers in this case. It was like my own opinion. I tried to look some other ways how I can treat her and I can heal her with other ways. As I told at the beginning, I was really full of skepticism, but I was very lucky to meet the doctor, the really good doctor Inna Dolgopolsky, and she was really good. I don't know, I was really lucky to meet her. She was observed my daughter, and then we talked a lot, and then her treatment really helped us. In just 3 weeks, my daughter stopped coughing at all. Honestly, I was shocked in a positive way. Then that's how I started to use homeopathy. For last 5 years, I can say that I've never used any medications, just except one course of antibiotics, but that was just once per like last 5 months. Literally, homeopathy for me has become a tool which helps to open my eyes, because it was a way to understand for me that healthcare system is not an absolute of good and benefit for people that I was thinking before. When I started to use homeopathic treatment, only after I have started to analyze my past experience, I can say that homeopathy pushes the critical thinking. I do not know why I didn't want to realize all of these things before. I didn't want to, I don't know, analyze, think about this, I can say. That was a new thought for me, that I cannot trust public health doctors for 100%. They are not responsible for consequences of their treatments and prescriptions. That's how it works in Canada. They simply, I can say, don't care most of the when I was pregnant, I had a flu. It's just an example. I had scheduled just 15 minutes visit with some doctor in walk-in clinic. And I can say that from the point of the system, the doctor did a great job. It took her just 8 minutes to prescribe me some few medications, which, as it turned out later, are forbidden to use during pregnancy. But she's good for the system, just 8 minutes, but she doesn't care at all, right? And I realized that we are like on a conveyor belt. In the system of public healthcare, the patients are like the objects on the belt that moved them to the checkout point in the drugstore. And homeopathy is different. It's just my point. It's approached each person and each case as a separate and unique case, and doesn't tolerate general treatment. So I'm very lucky person to have the opportunity to use homeopathy and have such great doctor, which is Inna, and she is now our family doctor. So thank you all, and thank you, Inna, for your care and your hard daily work with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Irina. It was always pleasure.
So you enjoyed the homeopathy has come to your family completely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So thank you very much. Yeah.
I think even during this year, there was a couple situations that we were not really sure, was it a COVID or not? You haven't done even a test. There was a couple of situations that we were kind of suspecting it, but even without any test, just with few remedies, we were able to get you
healing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, really good. Yeah, even my husband, he had some, I don't know, mystery something. I don't know. It was I don't know, was it COVID or not? He's never tested what was that. He was sick for 1 week and his cough started to be worse and worse. And we just called Ina, and like in 3 days, I don't know, he got healed.
I think it was, I remember it, it was really, we see that his cough was getting worse, and I was suspecting he started to have pneumonia, but I think 2-3 doses of Bryonia cleared the case, right?
Like pure magic for me.
That's the magic of homeopathy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Irina.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So now I just would like to invite my other patient and already friend for during all these years. It's Miss Enza Aurora. And Enza, maybe you can, if you hear us, please raise your hand and we can give a microphone to you. Here is Enza. Yeah, Enza, and your microphone. I think somebody please unmute Enza.
Please unmute.
Please unmute Enza, we don't hear you. Do you see Enza? Here she's just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now
okay.
we can see. Okay, come on.
Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. This is a great honor. Meeting Dr. Ina has been a life-altering experience for me. When I met her, it was in 2013, and I had a 6-year-old son with multiple comorbidities. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum. He was moderate to severe. He had ADHD, mild learning disability. The constipation started when he was 2 years old because like the previous person who presented, my son was always sick and he was on antibiotics. And the antibiotics, you know, it got so bad that he was always going to the emergency. He needed a nebulizer. And it just, one day we just walked into the urgent care. They knew me and my son. I was carrying him in my arms and he had blue lips. And it was just like they just let us in, and every month he was there. And then he started with the constipation. He needed enemas and he was on polyethylene glycol, that laxative 2 times a day. My son also started on medication for his ADHD because of his behaviors. And we tried 3 different types of medication. And at 6 years old, my son is telling me that he wants to kill himself. And I don't know where he got that language. So I called the doctor that I was seeing and I said, my son is like talking about suicide. He's talking about crazy things. I can't do this. So I was beside myself. And at the age of 6, I was trying like he was 6 years old. I was going to this autism treatment, a group therapy because of his behaviors. And I met this mom and she says, try this doctor, this homeopathic doctor. I said, look, I've tried so many doctors. I've tried so many therapies. I am so tired. My son is 6 years old. He doesn't sleep through the night. People are telling me I'm a bad mom because his behaviors are so severe that I am spoiling him and I don't know what to do. So she says, try it. You have nothing to lose. So when I spoke to my husband about it, he's from Mexico, and he said, in Mexico, they use homeopathy. Try it and see what it's like. So I met with Dr. Ina. I called her and I met her. And the first thing she said, I remember her words. She looked at my son, and my son I was sitting on the chair and he didn't want to be there. And he was pulling my sweater and pushing me and really misbehaving. I said, oh my gosh, she's going to think I'm a bad mom because I can't control my son. And she's like, your son is in pain. And I will never forget those words. And from that moment on, Dr. Ina took away the puffers. I didn't have to go to the emergency. She removed the constipation. She detoxified his brain. She did such a great job. I used to see a specialist at a hospital, and every year they would rank my son on a scale. And my son, the first year was moderate autistic. Then he went to mild. Then he went to borderline. And then finally, after 4 years, he didn't qualify. He didn't have any of the symptoms for autism spectrum. And that was so wonderful for me. The doctor said to me, I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand what you're doing, but keep doing it because it's working. You know, I don't know where I would be today if my son hadn't met Dr. Ina. My son is able to hug me now. He never did as a child because he had so many sensory problems. He never wanted to be held. And that was so hard because he's my only son. And, he saw a child, not too long ago. And he said, Mom, I used to be like that child. That boy has autism. That was me. And I couldn't express to you, but I always loved you. And I never wanted you to hold me. I owe my life to Dr. Ina. She's wonderful. And homeopathy has been a godsend. It was an answer to my prayers because I didn't know where to turn. So I am so forever grateful. And I hope every parent in the world has an opportunity to see how homeopathy works, because it really does work, especially in a qualified doctor such as Dr. Ina. It's like miraculous. So that's basically my story. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our request is you must share this experience in YouTube or Facebook or somewhere so that mothers like you will be happy in future. And you can give a good life to many, many children who are suffering from ADHD and autism. Only homeopathy can cure these cases.
Thank you.
And one more thing is you went to the doctor at the right time, right age.
I did.
Yeah.
I was very blessed.
It's very important. Going at the right time, because as early as is possible. Earliest is the best.
I know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Enza, for sharing it. When you were talking, actually, I almost shivering, and I have tears in my eyes right now because I remember how it started, and I remember how Alex, your son, feel like when he first came, and how you felt like. I think you were in such a desperation, and you didn't believe in everything. And I want to thank you, Dr. Jos, for actually teaching us how to treat these complicated cases. I know that there would be another topic. I will be talking about it actually, maybe in 1 week. We were planning for the forum, so I will not talk about this now. But lots of things that you were teaching us, I was applying.
The merit of homeopathy.
Yes, and really, while doing this thing, it was giving me also such a trust in the method I'm using.
Confidence.
And when I think about everything, how homeopathy makes difference in people's life, it makes difference in my life. It makes difference in Enza's life, in life of her family. So it's usually when there is a child with some development disorders, some development problems, it's a huge amount of people who are affected by it. And
by the way, can you tell the name of the medicine which you gave? Because some doctors are also watching this program.
More than one. Thing is, it was more than one. I was actually following his symptoms and his vital force. I think when we started, I started with Nux vomica because his constipation was a typical constipation of Nux vomica, and it was a first layer of pathology that we see. I'm actually, my method of treatment, autism, I'm not looking for one remedy that will fix it all because it's such a multi-layer pathology. So we started with Nux vomica, and after maybe months, we start to see much better situation. So the moment he was not in pain, he started to behave more normally. Then I think our next challenge was his asthma. And arsenicum iodatum was practically a miracle, did miraculous job. And then there was some other remedies that we're going through, and there was sulfur and mederinum and many others. So, and still now, we still have some few challenges that Alex experienced with his anxieties and so on, but it's far, far, far from where we were, right? So it is very important. And I remember at one moment, really the doctor was asking, what are you doing? When he heard about homeopathy, the doctor, medical doctor, she was more hesitant and say, oh, okay, that's something else. But at another moment she said, keep doing what are you doing? So, and I really, another very important thing that was answered, because it's always interaction between a doctor and a patient. And I think very important thing that Enza was really doing, she kept going, because not everything was absolutely smooth. from time to time, we had times that we were not moving. Sometimes I was not able to find the next step. Sometimes remedy was not working, was not doing something. So we have to go back and see, okay, so what's not right? But she believed in it, and it helped.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Elsa. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
So,
Dr. Ina. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to invite another my patient for a long time. Her name is Anastasia. She's a mother of a large family, and she has 3 kids, and one is on the way, and the 4th was on the way. So Anastasia, where are you? Please.
She can raise the hand by going into the participant.
Yeah, please raise a hand.
Okay, she's here.
Yeah. So please unmute Anastasia. Hello, please unmute.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Hi, Anastasia, do you hear us? There is some problem with the connection.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, do you hear us?
You.
Yes, now we can see.
There is a problem. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Okay, start.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's an honor to be here and to share my story. We are very grateful that we met Dr. Ina. We had our first child was born normal. We had no problems. We were perfectly happy family, and then something happened, and at the age of 3 he was diagnosed with autism, and it happened so suddenly that we were just shocked, like what is happening. He experienced such a regress over 3-4 months that we could not recognize our child. And all the doctors and people who tested him and all the specialists were just looking at us like, you did not notice this. He was always like this. And it was just a horrible experience because we knew how he was before. We couldn't figure out what happened. There were a lot of things that people were saying, like, you're a bad mom, that's when it starts at the age of 3. This is when you have to use discipline. But when you look at the child who experiences autism in conjunction with other sensory problems, the people who went through this, they understand that it's not just discipline. I just want to share, like, we had to take care of, and now this perfectly competent child that could do everything at the age of 3. He could eat, he could feed himself, dress himself, climb out hands. He would feel the blood. And same as the previous story, I heard a lot of comments that I'm just into getting some incentive for himself. So it was really bad. We were recommended so many specialists to take our child to. It was OT, we saw physical therapy. We were recommended to do speech therapy because all of a sudden our child couldn't pronounce eight sounds. From being he spoke in Russian perfectly normal, and he learned a little bit of English, but just over 3 months, he stopped pronouncing those sounds. And people probably didn't know how he was before that. So then when we started analyzing things, we realized that all happened after his first vaccinations that he received just few months before he turned 3. Teaching our child to climb out of the bathroom. No one really looked like what is causing all this. Well, okay, let's try working, for 45 minutes, teaching a child to climb out of the bathroom. So, I mean, I was really grateful to all those therapists. They did what they were trained to, but no one really looked into like what is actually happening with the child. So he was suffering a lot, and it's interesting that the previous participant commented on this, and even this 3-year-old child was so devastated in this condition. He could not express this, but he told me, but to me it was
Nastya, maybe you can turn off your video, would be a little bit better, because I think it's not enough bandwidth. Maybe you can turn off your video and it would be better.
Okay, is it better? Thank you.
Yeah.
Is it better now? So things would drop from his hands. He wouldn't be able to hold a cup, or he wouldn't be able to hold a package of anything. And that was really devastating to us as a family and to him. So then somebody recommended Inna to us. And I was a little skeptical initially, but after our first conversation over the phone, I said, we'll give it a try. And or also I wanted to add that we realized at this point, that a child who cannot he had so many OCDs, he couldn't tolerate anyone standing behind him in a line. So we realized we couldn't really send a child like this to any preschool, to any school. At this time, when he was 3, we realized that we look for some other alternative. So when Inna started working with him, we started seeing progress. And it's interesting how all those things go together. There were so many symptoms. There was constipation, there was OCD, there were so many other symptoms that were manifesting along with autism and other things. So we noticed the improvement, and it was amazing to me to see not only improvement after taking a medicine, remedy. After taking a remedy, we would notice an improvement that would continue for a month. Sometimes even up to every 2 days, every week or so on. Sometimes we had to repeat certain remedies, but sometimes it was such a great pick by Inna that the remedy was still working, and we could see the improvement in our son for up to half a year. That was the longest thing, the longest break till we gave him another remedy. So I just wanted to share that we are so grateful to Inna that she supported us and she healed our son. I don't think anybody from our friends could suspect that he has autism, or he does not have it now, but that he had before. We never went with a conventional medicine. We never treated him with anything else. And it was just homeopathy. And he went to regular school. He went to preschool, then he went to regular, well, it wasn't regular public school, it was a Waldorf school where he studied up to 3rd grade. Then he changed schools. And when he went to the 4th grade, we realized that he could do more than that. And he was transferred by his teachers into English, math, and music to the 5th grade. So he was going, it was a combined class, and he was doing 4th grade at the same time as he did 5th grade, and he graduated with great marks. He enjoys sports. He plays viola and piano. He jumps and runs, and he loves athletic things. He participated in swim team. He enjoys competing. So all his life was brought back to him. I don't think we would ever be able to get this using, conventional treatment, just teaching a child climbing out of the of the bathtub. So we are very grateful to Inna and to homeopathy that we were able to bring life back to our child and to our whole family, because we were all struggling and suffering when he was in this condition. Our younger siblings and me as my husband, we were all devastated with this, and same with our child. So now he's happy, he enjoys his life, he loves everything. He has lots of interest, and we are grateful to Inna and homeopathy that we were guided to this, and we were able to continue this. I would love more parents to know and give it a try. And I also wanted to add that I recommend Inna to a lot of my friends. And I was also thinking, well, maybe she's gonna give similar treatments, but it's amazing how homeopathy is so different, even though like you think that there's similar cases, but they're so different in a way what the homeopathic practitioner prescribes, because they see way more than what is available for us as moms. We're sharing, like, oh, we have something similar, go see Inna Dolgopolsky, and they go, and then we talk about the remedies, and the remedies are totally different than what we were prescribed. So it's just amazing how it's not like prescribing same remedies. If you see something similar, it's so different than conventional allopathic medicine. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Without any side effects, your child is normal. Please share it with everybody in the world. So there are lots of children now, autism, 1 in 80 children have autism or some kind of ADHD or anything. So please publish these things in media so that more and more people will be helped.
Thank you. I really think I should. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, next.
Yes, so now I wanted to invite my colleague, wonderful homeopath and teacher of homeopathy, Dr. Lisa DiCandia. And she can share her story and her vision of homeopathy in Canada and whatever she decides to say. So Lisa, please. Dr. Lisa.
Lisa, okay. Oh, Lisa is teaching there, isn't it?
Yes, she's
okay.
There is at least, like, there are maybe more schools, but there are 2 main schools. So she's teaching in one, and I'm in another.
Okay.
But
okay. Yeah, I think she raised the hand.
Yeah.
No, it is anesthesia.
Oh, Lisa.
Please unmute Lisa. Lisa.
Yeah. Ask to unmute. I just asked to unmute. I think Lisa is here, but
there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
I couldn't find the hand to raise, so I used my hand.
Okay, right.
Well, hello, everyone. And what I would like to say, first of all, is congratulations to all of you for this wonderful forum. And the stories that I've heard so far are amazing. I have a story of how I started actually to study homeopathy.
1 minute, your face is not clear. Can you, yeah, okay. Now,
yeah.
Come on. Yes, right.
Good?
Good. Okay, come on.
My story starts 28 years ago when my daughter was 1 year old. And my daughter was suffering from chronic ear infections, otitis media. Antibiotics. And finally, the doctor said to me, surgery, surgery. And I said no. And through some of my own personal experience, I took my daughter to a homeopath, and one dose of Pulsatilla 200C. My daughter now is 29 years old, soon to be married, and no ear infections. After I discovered this 28 years ago, I said, I have to go study homeopathy, and I did. And now I've been practicing homeopathy here in Toronto, Canada for 20 years now. And it's changed my life to be a homeopath. And I know that it has changed my patients' lives as well, because they tell me so. And to watch people heal from pain, from arthritis, from acute situations is so gratifying. I remember one young patient that I treated many years ago for mononucleosis, and received a letter from this patient's mother, literally saying that I saved her daughter's life. Well, I didn't do that. Homeopathy did that. And listening to all the stories of Ina, your wonderful patients, that experience when you can help someone is very fulfilling. And I too had the privilege to study with Dr. Jose, both here in Canada and once in India. And I'm very grateful for that homeopathic study, because that too has changed the way that I practice. And here in Toronto, as Ina mentioned, she teaches at one school. I teach at another homeopathic school, homeopathic college here in Toronto. And I feel very privileged to be able to pass my knowledge on to students, to watch them transform, watch them, how their lives change, how their thinking changes when they study homeopathy, and how their patients have changed and get better and better and better and heal without traditional medication, just homeopathy. And, I thank you all again for sharing your experiences, and this is mine. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa. I take this opportunity to invite you for one of our Zoom meetings, which we are conducting daily at 8:30. One day you can come
Yes.
for 1 hour. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much again, Dr. Joe. Thank you very much, all honorable doctors and organizers, for inviting us. It's really great for us to be here and hear about other stories of other homeopaths from different countries, to show our kind of a humble experience, because really, it's very important for us to unite. And I strongly believe that the key for homeopathy to succeed is spreading the knowledge, but also very important for us, good education, especially good clinical education and good education in the philosophy of homeopathy. Because regarding the materia medica, lots of people can read. There are lots of books, but how to apply it is very, very important. And it's both philosophy and clinics. That's what makes us better homeopaths every day. And my story in homeopathy is very long, so I will not tell it now. There is no time. But I want to tell that one thing I really learned is that homeopathy is like an ocean. You cannot drink ocean. But you can, but every sip is teaching you something.
You go deeper and deeper, you will see more pearls and pearls, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So again, thank you very much, and we hope that in the future we will share our experience. We will hear more about your experience. And now, in a critical time of COVID, when we have so many post-COVID problems and post vaccination COVID problems, we really will need to unite our forces, and it will give us other very big step into direction of disseminating homeopathic knowledge. Thank you again.